and welcome back. My gosh, look at this. M2s are already used and up for sale. Oh my goodness, M1s didn't go up for sale this fast. People got to realize, and some people you think they learned their lesson, right? Don't buy 8 by 256 gig. It's not even good as a base model computer. 16 gigs minimum and nothing less than a half a terabyte is where you want to be with a Mac nowadays. And of course, we know that M1 and M2 technology, or let's call it ARM, is new stuff, right? And the OSs are getting bigger and more powerful and more toys. And if you don't have enough RAM to run the stuff, well, guess what? You got a problem. Okay. Also, you got other problems now with the M2s where the M2s are missing a chip on the motherboard for the drive to make it go fast. There's only one instead of two chips. But if you go to the half a terabyte hard drive, but you got to custom order your computer from Apple this way, then guess what? You will get two chips and a really smoking fast drive all of a sudden go, woohoo! Now I can actually do something. And of course, this is probably where this has come from too, is the same thing. They bought pre-order, when the whole thing came available, and they're like, oh, I'm clamoring for the new Mac. More GPU, more processor speed, more this. And it's like, yeah. And then they get in and find out, well, I guess it's not so hot after all. And it really isn't, especially with a slow drive in there, right? So you need a half a terabyte, okay? Bottom line, guys, stop pre-ordering your stuff. Unless you're going to pre-order a higher configuration, that's the smart choice. The not so smart choice is going with base model configurations, even if you're a base model user. These things are not going to last, especially if you can only afford to buy a Mac about once every 5 or 6 years. You don't want base model. And with the way the operating system is growing, my goodness, holy cow, RAM hog, hard drive space hog. Then you got to put your programs in there and run them too. Like, holy mother. Anyways, so let's take a look at a few of these things. Here's one in Vaughn, $1,500, right? Probably base model, doesn't give any particular specs. Yeah, okay, just a regular everyday person, they want $1,500. No, I'm sorry, you're not getting your money back. Look, here's the thing too, guys, you're not responsible for other people's mistakes, okay? They need to learn that they gotta suffer the consequences of making an incorrect purchase. Okay, and that means they're not getting all their money back. And besides, the things aren't worth it. You take a brand spanking new Mac right now, and you take it to your nearest pawn shop in Canada, you're going to get half maybe of what you paid for it. And then, of course, they double their money. But they don't always double their money because they know they can't sell it at a brand new spanking price. Even if the box is sealed, it makes no difference. The simple fact is, they're a pawn shop. You're selling something, you need money. You're taking a massive loss, rightly so. That's why you're there. You need money, right? But the thing is, even the M1s, I've seen brand spanking new M1s that were just like maybe a month old in a pawn shop selling for $800 to $1,000. And they are only paying half of that. Because one of our pawn shops actually told me they only pay half of what they sell for. So they are doubling their money easily, okay? And yeah, so don't even buy Intel stuff anymore because the bottom's dropped out. And Apple's cut off almost all the Intel Macs except for only a few specific models and model years. That's it. The new OS will not run on all the others. So don't think that just because you have a more current Mac doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Okay, check Apple's website for the current Intel Macs that will run the new OS. But be aware that OS is pretty chunky monk and it's going to really slug your buns down, okay? I have seen the beta versions of the new OS and I'm like, I'm really scared to see how much it's going to slow down my Mini. And I've got an M1 Mini, right? Like 8-core processor, 8-core GPU, 16 gig RAM, and a half a terabyte. But you know what? You got to stay current on your OSs because as soon as Apple does obsolete one completely out where there's not even security updates anymore, you're off the net unless you can upgrade to the newest Mac OS. And there's no more butchery of making Macs run OSs they weren't intended to. That can still be done on Intel Macs and Hackintoshes, but those are now dead with the new ARM processor technology. You can no longer do that sort of thing. Ha ha! And there won't be any ARMed Hackintoshes either. So, anyways, I think Apple's finally sealed the gate on that garbage. But anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Look at this brand new sealed Air 1349, wanted 1569. Readily available, no wait. Personal person. Look, there's no business name or anything. This is personal purpose. Person, right? And it's sealed. They're already taking a hit. Fine. Good. You can take a bigger hit too. I give her $1,000 for it. Tops. That's it. And that's only just because I want it for an experiment. And at least I know I can get my $1,000 back. But yeah, I mean, seriously, it's not your responsibility for other people's mistakes. So why should you pay the big money? And it's not worth it. Let's take a look, see what else is kicking around here. We got an Air new sealed midnight, so it's a black one, I guess. Yep. Again, not a business, just a personal purpose. With Apple Care, authentic, legit Apple Store. Well, you don't show any information that you're a store here. Let's take a look. Say, well, there might be a possibility this might be a store, but why are you ashamed to put your store name and location? I wonder. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you buy any Mac that has standard Apple Care, which is your 1-year warranty, whenever you sell that in less than a year, obviously, because it's only a 1-year warranty, that warranty will automatically be transferred to the new owner. If you've bought extended Apple Care coverage, okay, there's paperwork that has to be done. I've just recently talked to Apple about this on the phone because I was selling my MacBook Air M1 base model to a buddy of mine, and we needed to know about is the warranty still going to be intact? Because it's only a couple months old, and I needed the money because I had another thing I had to do, and that was a handy thing for me to get rid of. And besides, he needed a new computer. I needed $1,000, so it all worked out for both of us. So yeah, the warranty automatically transferred. But if I would have had Apple Care Plus on there would have been a bunch of paperwork that has to be done on both ends. So just be aware of that before buying something that has Apple Care, because you will have no warranty unless that is previously already changed into your name at the time you pick it up. So make sure you take care of that business first. Okay, what else we got sitting up here for M2s? New sealed. Is this guy a business? Vishnu. Guy's got a mask on. I'm nervous. I'm scared. Looks like, yeah, probably not a business. More like personal stuff up here. Looks like, anyways. And this is what you got to check. I mean, some people are really sketchy. What really scares me is 1 month old or just bought it, opened up the box. There's one of these on there too. We'll probably find it. Brand new sealed, 8 by blah, blah, blah. It will be available all colors soon. I can order anytime. Okay, so probably a business, but why don't they list themselves as businesses? They're allowed to. See, that makes me a little nervous with that sort of stuff. What's really going down here? And some Apple places that are like this on Facebook, you actually would pay more for the same thing than as opposed to going directly to Apple. And Apple even gives you free shipping, So, anyways, what else we got here? Mac Pro M2 for $1,500. Brand new, received as a gift, hence looking to sell under Apple Retail. DM for more info. Under Apple Retail, what? So they got it as a gift and they want to ditch it. It's like, okay, you could have just said I don't like Apple computers, but I don't know. So $1,500. I'm still not paying that kind of money, and it's a private deal. So yeah, well, at least you save on taxes, sure. But I kind of get a little bit nervous about stuff like this. Got it as a gift and I don't like Macs. Well, I'm sure the person who bought it for you knew you didn't like Macs. So there's always something, you know what I mean? $1,600 for one here. Brand new sealed 1 year, never opened, $350 cheaper than Apple. Yeah, because it's a personal deal, right? They bought it and they wanted 17, they're asking 16. Interesting. Okay, anyways, moving along. What else we got? The sketchiest. Air, cheapest in town. $1,450. ECA Kane. Probably sells new stuff, but I don't know. I mean, thing is, Apple has their price, and all Apple dealers sell at the same price as Apple. Well, they're supposed to. Okay, I'll put you that way. If they're selling for a higher price, there's something sketchy. Okay. Now they can have their own personal sale and take the loss, and there's not a lot of profit in brand new Macs for dealers. Like there's really not that much profit. Okay, here's one here, an M2 brand new in box. Um, for 1450, wanted 16. Obviously, this is going to be personal, and they're trying to ditch it. They have another, two listings actually, I guess. Oh, one's an M1, one's an M2. Sold the M1. So kind of makes you wonder, why they buy it and just all of a sudden want to sell it. Yes, this is the guy I was talking to you about. Only open to see the color. Why the heck would you spend all that money just to see the color and you're going to take a loss anyways? I mean, there's something wrong here, okay, people? Think about this. Please think about it. The other thing you got to worry about too is when it comes to the words I locked, somebody reformat it and reload and they forgot to disable Find My Phone or Find My Computer, right? And then they also forgot to remove it from their account and sign out. Well, what happens is if they haven't signed out, when you reload the computer, you have to have the email and address that was last used for the Apple ID. And nobody's giving you their Apple ID and password. This actually happened to a guy in Vaughan. He bought one off of eBay, MacBook, and he's trying to sell the thing, right? And it's actually iLocked, right? And I know I did the same thing. I reloaded my M1 the other day, my Mini, and it comes up, and because I did not disable Find My Mac, I did not sign out of the account. I just restarted the computer, went into options, formatted my hard drive naked. You'd think that'd be enough? No, because there's stuff also held in other memory sections that also have to be reset, by the way. But because I didn't sign out and I didn't remove from the account and I didn't disable Find My Mac, I now have iLock, so I had to type in my username and password for my Apple account, and then it says, okay, we're just checking and verifying that it's actually you, and blah, blah, blah. And yep, goes through just perfectly fine, and we're good. Now, to sell a computer that's iLocked, there's no bypass for that, right? Especially on these M1s and M2s, you're not bypassing nothing anymore. Apple has really locked down tight on security, and I'm kind of happy they did. In some ways, it kind of pisses me off, but in other ways, I kind of understand it and I'm happy with it. I'm kind of a little bit, in and out on that one. But you're going to find a lot of these M1s that are brand new in the boxes that are really super cheap. And you got to kind of wonder why, especially when they're coming from personal people. You're going to find them where, they're obviously been opened. Like, I just wanted to check the color. Well, that's stupidity right there. Like, why would you buy it? Just to check the color? I mean, you can always go to your nearest Apple store that actually has those colors in stock. Of course, Best Buy doesn't carry the black in stock, or I would be scooping that one, but not from Best Buy. I just order from Apple because 8x256, I'll never do it again because I did it only in the first place to show you guys why you don't buy an 8x256 configuration. But at least I got all but $300 in taxes back, and I got some use out of it for a few months. So to me, it was an okay thing either way, right? But there's no way I'm going to buy an M2 Air just for that sort of thing, or even for testing purposes, and then try and get my money back because I know it's not going to happen. But when I buy another computer, I think I'm going to be waiting for either until I can afford something like a Studio. Not the Ultra though, because it's not worth the money. Or I might go into another laptop, which means I go 14 or 16-inch Pro. But I want to see what's coming out in the M2s for that first, because I know what I need a laptop for. But I also know I need at least 16 by half a terabyte, even for a laptop, for what I would want it specifically for. Because what I'd like to do is try and have a desktop system for doing my video editing and some other jazz on. And I do eventually want to upgrade my Mini to a much higher end desktop, but I also would like to have a laptop for other purposes, for specific tasks, so that I can do multiple things at once and not have to worry about any kind of collisions between music and video editing at the same time, because that actually can cause glitches on both. So I like to multitask. What can I say? Anyways, and be very cautious too on prices on used Intel Macs. They're not even worth a quarter of what people are asking, considering of all the Macs that are going to be going completely, buttons eyes up because of the fact that they're not going to support the newest OS, right? And some of the older Macs now too that are even people are still trying to get $400 and $500 for, they don't even support beyond Catalina, and Catalina is done this fall, like last of the security updates, and then that's it. By next year, that all those MacBooks that run Catalina and below, they're off the net, man. There will be no security of any sort. And you're going to start getting booted off websites too. So don't buy any used Intel Macs, period. Just let them sit and rot, you know. But anyways, we could go all day here with this, and you can see there's a lot of M2 stuff up here. There's even some M1s up here too. I expect to see, some M1s. That's kind of reasonable. People are thinking about going to an M2, but M2s just came out, and already we're seeing personal people selling with every excuse under the sun. And come on, gift. All right, so you're gonna give people a break because it was a gift? Why don't you tell that person to go just get a refund and give you the cash so you can buy what you want? As long as it's sealed, you can probably get all your money back depending on where you got it from. And I guarantee you this too, Best Buy. When I went in there, when I bought my my Air, I said to them, if I don't like this, how long do I have to return it and get a refund? And they said something like 30 days or something like that, 30 or 60 days. I have to return it for a full 100% refund. They do that, right? So if you've had the thing, and I would have had it open and been using it, and I could still taken it back after a month and got a full refund, right? But I hadn't planned on selling the thing at the time, so I kept it longer, so there was my refund. But still, like I said, I got my money's worth out of it. So, anyhow, guys, think about this real carefully. If you're going to buy into the M2 tech, don't buy the 8x256, 16 by half. And the biggest reason as far as the hard drive size goes, other than the obvious things we've already pointed out, is a simple fact that the 256 gig SSDs in the two current MacBooks that are out right now, because nothing else is out yet, those drives are running really freaking slow. You are not going to be happy with that computer. And drive speeds does affect performance of the rest of the machine too, especially if you're doing video editing, right? And if your drive can't keep up with what you're doing, that's a problem, a big one, right? So think about it very carefully before you buy a computer. I'm really hoping that one day everybody will just, wise up and just custom order their stuff straight from Apple. Forget Best Buy, forget Staples, forget the Source, forget anything that is on the bloody shelf unless it's a minimum of a 16 by half a terabyte. And if you need more than that and the computer can handle more than 16 by half, then do it if it's worth it to you, or buy a computer from Apple that actually is spec'd out enough for horsepower to also justify the cost for what you need. But if all you are is a base level user, don't be going anywhere near the high-end laptops like the 14 and 16-inch models, because those are not for you. What's for you are Airs, Pros, Minis, that sort of stuff, those computers. But when it comes to the high-end laptops from Apple, no, if you're a base user, it's not for you. It's just way too much horsepower that you are never, ever going to use or even in any way be able to take advantage of that. Okay? So, anyway, keep that in mind. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comments, as usual, down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. And, let me know what else you want to see for tech-related stuff. And, shoot me some ideas, right? And we'll see what we can pull off for you. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Ciao.